Hi there, Dr. Kerry here. Today I am reviewing yesterday's Carb Manager, and it was day 4 on my 100-day journey of getting fit, losing weight, gaining some muscle and definition, getting in better shape. And in 2021, I was able to lose 32 pounds in 100 days, and I wrote about it in my book called The 100-Day Diet. It's on Amazon. I'll put a link below in the show notes. But that's what really got me going with getting in better shape. I learned some scientific methods, read the research, watched testimonials, and finally found some solutions to losing weight. Whereas in the past, I would lose a few pounds, gain it right back again. And most of my life, I've struggled with being overweight as a child, my adult life, and even to this day. So last year, I was able to lose 32 pounds, pretty much maintain that zone to this point, which is about 8 months later. And now what I want to do is finish it off and get in really great shape. I kind of challenging myself to get even more fit. And what I'd like to do is lose the final 15 to 20 pounds. And I'll go over that with you as this progresses. I'll do a separate video on my weight measurements and other measurements you can use, and maybe more the psychological aspects to this. But today what I want to do is go over day 4, which was yesterday, on this journey. And I'm using the Carb Manager app. That's this app right here. And you can use that on your phone, Android or Apple, and it syncs with the desktop in the cloud. So it's really great and seamless, very easy to use. This shows me my macros of what I consume. So yesterday, 51.3 grams of protein, 79.4 grams of protein, 124.5 grams of fat, 1926 calories, and 99.2 net carbs. So net carbs were high, 36.5 over. The only saving grace for me, before I go into that, the total carbs were 139 and the fiber was 38. So that's what gave me my net carbs of 99.2. But before I get into that, if I look into the net values, I get some deductions for the exercise, and I'm very active with exercise. So that's helping me to bring some of these numbers down. I think what I'll do is I'll start the videos by doing total consumed and then doing net values just to show you the difference. As far as my goals go, it says right here, these are net calories, 1174, 2091 is my goal. So I get the credit again for exercise. For net carbs, 76.6, 62.7. So I was 13 net carbs over, 32 protein, 130 is the goal. So I could up my protein for sure. And the fat, 71.9, 146 is the goal. I could up my fat as well. I had been doing well since day 1. Yesterday, a little too much net carbs, so that's something to be cautious of and aware of. And we want to take a look at that today and see, well, where did I go over and why? For breakfast, I had black coffee, and that's what I'm having right now. And this is during the fasting period. And I fast for 16 hours and I eat for 8 hours. And my fasting starts at 7 p.m. and I maintain that fast till 11 a.m. For me and my schedule, I find that really easy to do. But during the fast, you can drink black coffee, you could drink tea, you just can't add anything to it. And you could also drink something like soup stock or bone broth. I've done that as well, and just put some salt in it. And that really helps you during the fasting period. I can't lie. I mean, yesterday I had some cravings later before bed, and the temptation was to eat some food. But I resisted, and I wanted to make sure in the morning that I could review my day and keep within the limits. So I was motivated to not only for my own health, but to do this video in the morning. So that did help. For lunch, I'm going to go over what I had, but I'm going to skip forward to my first snack. And so the reason I'm doing this is at around 11 a.m. I usually have a smoothie, and I've grouped the ingredients in the smoothie into a meal called Smoothie August 2022 Part 1. And so in my book, I wrote about how important smoothies were to break my fast, give me the right nutrients at 11 a.m., and to reduce cravings. Now, what I'm going to do during this period is break my smoothie into two. One with the essential ingredients like protein as part one, and then later in the afternoon do part two, which is going to be more supplements and things that will help with energy or metabolism, things that are like secondary to macronutrients. So that's what I'm planning on doing, and I'll keep you posted as we go through the days here and I develop part two of the smoothie meal. And maybe I'll do a video just on how to group ingredients together into a meal here on Carb Manager. I had a treat at work, and this was a keto bomb, and I don't like to eat these, but I have it in my cabinet just in case I get really hungry. And because I exercised in the morning yesterday, I was really hungry at work, and so I had one of these. It has sugar alcohols in it, so it's like alcohols you cannot digest, and so that's why it has 4 net carbs, 1 protein, 7 fat, 70 calories. Sometimes people have indigestion or they get some gas, that kind of thing, from eating keto foods because they use sugar alcohols that are not digestible in their foods generally for sweeteners. So this was an exception, and there will be exceptions, and I would encourage you to allow yourself a little bit of flexibility in your diet. You don't want to be eating the same thing over and over again, but you want to know the general guidelines for what you should be eating. So I had that as a treat, and that was one snack right there. And we won't worry too much about the macronutrients for that snack. As time goes on, we'll look at snacks, and we'll look at the ratios, the breakdown of how many calories we should eat for each meal. And that's something you can set down here in the settings on the Carb Manager. So we'll get into that on another lesson. But after I had the smoothie and I had the snack and I came home from work for lunch, what I had was pistachios. And generally, pistachios are good. And you'll see the green bar right here saying keto grade friendly. So 2.5 net carbs in 1/8 of a cup without shells. And 3 grams of protein, 7 fat, 85 calories. So nuts in general are kind of fattening, but they have a lot of fat in them and they have a lot of calories, but they're good fats and good calories. You have to be careful how much of them you eat, but I would encourage you to include nuts as a regular part of your diet. Then I had this salad. I actually bought it at Costco. It's like one of those pre-made mixed salads. They're pretty good. If you did a homemade, it would be better, but this allowed me to quickly make a salad. I had 9 grams of net carbs there, 3 grams of protein, 11 fat, 150 calories. I had some kielbasa or garlic sausage that I got at Costco, 3 ounces. I weighed that on the scale, 0.9 net carbs, 18.7 protein, 5.1 fat for 128 calories. I had some salsa chips and Tostitos. So these are tricolored corn, chili, and jalapeno chips that I bought. I think this was from Costco too. But I had 10 chips, and I counted them, 11.6 grams of net carbs. So this says keto avoid. You don't want to be doing this too often. And this definitely was one of the reasons it pushed me over my carb limit yesterday. And it was a snack that we had on the boat, so I ate that. But definitely don't want to be eating tortilla chips regularly. And so 11.6 net carbs, 1.2 protein, 5.2 fat, and 100 calories. And I had salsa with that. Now salsa is friendly. Salsa is good as long as it doesn't have added sugars. You have to check the ingredients and the macronutrients. So 4 tablespoons of salsa, 2 grams of net carbs, 0 protein, 0 fat for 20 calories for that. So that's what I had for lunch. For dinner, when we got back, I had these keto crackers I only had 5 of them, so I'm going to remove this because it's a double entry. So this is a good reason why you want to go over your entries the next day, kind of in the morning, go back and look at the previous day, and then you can log out. I'll show you how to do that as well. But what I had was 5 keto crackers from Costco again, 4 net carbs, 3 protein, 7 fat, 100 calories. I had some shrimp. These were pre-cooked, frozen. I cooked them on the stovetop. Lots of protein in 7 shrimp, 12.7 protein, 0.1 fat, 51 calories. So definitely want to include that as a regular basis, especially if you like seafood like I do. I had baba ganoush, which I really like. That's keto friendly. I had 15 grams. I measured that on the scale, 0.5 net carbs, 0.5 protein, 5.5 fat, and 55 calories for that. I had a blue cheese dressing with my crackers, and that's President's Choice, which is a product here in Loblaws or superstores in Canada. So I like their President's Choice products. They're higher quality, and this one was keto friendly. 1 gram of net carb, 1 gram of protein, 15 grams of fat, 140 calories. I had 2 tablespoons of the tangy seafood sauce. So it says limit that. So 2 tablespoons with the shrimp, 6 grams of net carbs. So it's quite a bit for 2 tablespoons. 1 gram of protein, 0 fat for 30 calories. I had chanterelle mushrooms. I actually bought those in the store. Cooked them on the stovetop with a bit of butter right here. Measured the 2. And so 2 grams of net carbs, 1 gram of protein, no fat, although the butter has a lot of fat in 1 tablespoon. So the 2 combined actually were kind of a good food. And then 125 calories combined. So that's kind of my meal for dinner. Within the calorie limit, fats were good, close to the goal. Protein's a little bit lower, and net carbs within the limit. So that was really good too. Again, maybe eating a little bit more protein would be a good idea. So that's something I want to focus on today. Snack number 2 yesterday was some gelato. So when we were out on the boat, we stopped at a dock, walked into my favorite gelato place, and I love gelato, one of my favorite foods. So again, the lesson here is you can't totally restrict your diet where you can't have your favorite foods. You can have them once in a while. And so having gelato, yesterday as a bit of a treat, mid-afternoon was okay for me. You don't want to do this all the time, but I had 2/3 of a cup of gelato, had 26.4 net carbs. That's a lot. 4.2 protein, 8 fat, 196 calories. So it wasn't so much the calories as the net carbs, lots of like sugars in that gelato. Probably a little better than ice cream, but still a lot. So that definitely contributed to me going over on my net carbs. Snack 3, which is kind of like dessert usually for me after dinner, I had some Italian cookies. Sorry for the noise in the background. That's just my dog. We have a puppy. So snack 3 for dessert, I had this Gentili Nuvoli. I actually entered this yesterday in Carb Manager as a food. So I was able to scan the barcode, enter the macronutrients off the label, and now I'm able to update that on a daily basis if I'm having those small little biscotti with my coffee. So I had that, and I had 2/3 of a serving, which is 2 cookies, 14 grams of net carb, 1.3 protein, 2.7 fat, 93 calories. I had 3 little dark chocolates that you buy at Costco. You buy 100 of these little dark chocolates, these Swiss chocolates in a bag. And that's great because these portion sizes are really small and allows you to be accurate with your count. So I had 3 pieces, 5.6 net carbs, 1.3 protein, 7.3 fat, and 99 calories. I had some espresso. That's zeros, so that's friendly with nothing. Oh, I actually had half and half cream in it. So 2 fluid ounces of cream in the espresso. So espresso has no calories and the macronutrients are zeros, but the half and half cream had 4 net carbs, 2 grams of protein, 6 grams of fat, and 80 calories. So that was the breakdown of my dessert. And supplements, I didn't enter those. I will get on that and start entering those going forward. And that's probably going to be in part 2 of the smoothie, where I put my supplements in the smoothie. So I have to work on grouping those together. I'll figure out how this works because I don't really know how to add supplements, but I'd like to start tracking that. I worked out. I did a lot of physical activity yesterday, especially in the morning. So I did 14,795 steps yesterday. I was at Aqua Fit class for 60 minutes. That was the majority of this on my Apple Watch. And the Apple Watch syncs with your Carb Manager app, which is perfect. You just have to set that up. It's really easy. And so I had a benefit or deduction of 22 net carbs for all the activity I did yesterday. 47 grams of protein, 52 fat, and 752 calories that I burned from the physical activity. My goal is to be active for 20 minutes each day, but usually I get up into the 45 range to 60. Yesterday was more than normal, 77. So that's definitely a benefit to me. Here you can see some of the recipes. I won't get into that right now, but those recipes are there for you on the premium plan, and just to help you if you like cooking like I do. Water, 10 cups of water, trying to get to 12. So pretty good on the water, could be a little bit better. So I'll keep working on water and protein. That's the takeaways from yesterday, as well as limiting the gelato, which has a lot of net carbs. So I'm done for day 4 right there. I stepped on the scale this morning and noticed I was down a couple pounds. So I'll do a separate video on that, and I'll just kind of talk to you about what to expect with your weighing yourself and what scale I use. So I'll do that. I'm going to record that right after this video, and I'll post that up in the next day or 2. So thanks for joining me today. If you need help, you want to get in better shape and you want to lose some weight, you want to eat healthier, you want to get more active, I offer coaching sessions. You can go to our website, the link below in the show notes, sign up for a free 15-minute consultation that's on right now for a limited time. You'll have to enter some answers to a few questions just to pre-qualify you to make sure you're a good candidate. And then we'll set up a video or audio call with you. I will be doing the coaching right now. And I just talked to you about what your goals are, what you want to achieve. Do you need some extra help? Or can you do a self-study course, which we're developing right now as a video self-study course. So most people can take that and do it at their own pace. So thanks for joining me today. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and we will talk to you tomorrow.